Yo, what up, guys? Beside it here, this is a champion guide for Soulless, a legendary champion that you are so happy that you'll be so glad to obtain right here in Raid Shadow Legends from the Knight Revenant faction. Why? Because he's a, what do you call one of these things now? Void affinity champion. So that's one of the first criteria when you want to see whether you're getting a good champion or not. Void affinity, but there are some bad void affinity champions and some good one. He falls into the later category as a good void affinity champion that you obtain and you're happy to actually get him. So now you can build or use this champion as a defensive based nuker. You can see right there, legendary defense. So this champion skills or damage will be based on defense. You don't need attack on this champion. That's what it means. Attack will be useless on him. So another thing that you can use this champion like if you don't want him to be like a defensive based champion, is a AoE provoke champion, like just you know, one of those champions, or a buff cleanser. I can remove buffs from the enemies. So let's take a look at his skills and find out which of them I'm talking about. The first one I'll direct your attention to is his A3, which is the main damage dealing ability. This is the skill that you want to start the battle with, especially when you're going against PvP content. So he attacks all enemies, increases the duration of all debuffs on each target by 1 turn. So that's also a debuff increase. So if there are already debuffs on the enemy, whether it's HP burn, decrease defense, and weaken usually out there before he goes in with these big hits, he will increase the duration of those decrease defense and weaken for even 1 more turn. You don't expect the enemies to live longer after you hit them with this skill in PvP, but for PvE content, like especially the Hydra, this skill comes in handy to increase the duration of your HP burn, to increase the duration of your slow speed, to increase the duration of all those debuffs you have on the Hydra heads already. Now this skill will need accuracy if you want that increased duration of debuffs to happen on the target. So but for PvP content, it's not a high priority to have accuracy on this champion, but this skill will also place provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. That also requires accuracy. It places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 30% of the damage inflicted. This is a skill you want to see me use in battle. Along this video I'll test them in battle. You see the amount of shield. 30% of the damage inflicted is huge. So if he's gonna be hitting 4 or 5 enemies and then he's placing 30% of the shield on himself, it's too bad. This is not a shield that places on everybody, just like somebody like a miscreated monster, right? Big shields on everybody, so he does it just for himself. That's kind of greedy, but we will take it because the skill does hit extremely hard. If you check out the multipliers, damage increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. That's not all. This skill is doing too much, so this part just makes it even extra hitting hard. So if the targets already have decreased defense on them, that's 10% extra damage. If they have 2 debuffs on them, decreased defense and weaken, that's 20% extra damage coming in right here. So if you go in with somebody like a decreased accuracy, decreased defense and weaken, and slow speed, a decreased attack, before you hit them, nothing is surviving. That's the reason why most people like to use him in content like the Hydra, Brutal, Nightmare. So because when you have debuffs on those Hydra heads, he hits as hard as an enemy max HP champion. Well, not the same, but it will just look similar because of this high amount of damage he's dealing right here. So shielding himself, damage increasing by debuffs on the enemies, and also big nukes right here. If you don't have enough debuffs on the enemies, you just have to do with your basic normal damage, right? This skill is on a 4-turn cooldown, so normally in PvP content you want to use it just once and kill everything, right? But it does have other skills. A2, which you can rely on when your A3 is not available. A3 will hit 3 times at random. We don't like that usually in raid. We like to see somebody hitting AoE or single target 3 times at random. Will still be useful for you. Each hit has a 75% chance of removing debuffs. So 75% chance of removing debuff, booked up to 100% chance right here when you spend your books on this champion. Yes, this skill is worth booking for sure. Also places provoke debuff for 1 turn if a buff was removed. So that's also a chance to remove all debuffs from the enemies. But if they have their buff remove 1 or 2, he will place provoke. So he's coming in with 2 skills that have provoke right here on this A3, and another skill that has provoke on this A2. That's 2 reasons right there to use this champion for the Hydra. I know I keep saying Hydra, I know, but provoke is also something you can use to control your enemies in PvP content, especially against enemies like nukers, right? You might not be able to provoke their debuffers who have high resist, but he can definitely provoke the nukers on the enemy wave or the enemy team, so they can eat just him with his big shield already on him. So this skill is also based on defense. Let's see the A1. What's special about it is a 50% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. That's a good chance. 50% chance of placing stun. It's a 1 hit, so it will stun some people sometimes, especially when you have book spent on it, to increase that chance by an extra 15%. This is not all. Faction creep, when I checked this, it kind of broke my heart because I've hyped his A1, hyped his A2, his even his A3. Everything is useful about this champion. When I looked at this, what do you call it now, aura, I was like, oh, come on, Raid, come on, you can't do this champion good like this and then make this aura faction creep. Well, guess what? Faction war, it means he's godly in faction wars. Increasing his defense and all allied defense by 44% is one of the highest I've ever seen in the game, at least for faction wars. So it's not going to be useful as a leader slot in any other content. You might need somebody else being placed in the leader slot to help increase his defense if you want him to be a damage dealer in your teams. Let's head over to my Soulless and see how I built him. My Knight Revenant faction is done before I even got him, so I'll not be showing him in that content. So this is my Soulless. This is one champion I will highly recommend you steal gear from your other champions to make him hit hard. Usually when I come up with these builds and these champion guides, I tell you that this gear you're seeing right here on the screen was not stolen from any other champions. I'll tell you right now, this gear was stolen from Candorphone. This gear was stolen from Foley. This gear was stolen from a lot of champions who are rocking this savage gear, but it has defense. They are rocking savage what do you call it now, crit damage gear. It has defense, so he just collected, hey, that's mine, give me, that's mine, that's mine. So he took all his gear back that they've been holding for him. Mostly you want to look at gears that have defense, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy. So he's not really looking for HP, right? On the helmet I don't need that attack, but we'll take it because why you see 20% defense right here. I think I even stole one from Sinesha. Yes, I stole from Sinesha, which was a recently built champion. I still stole it. I'll look for something else for them later. So yes, I did steal gear from my champions to make sure that I get the best damage from this champion and some utility out of him also, and not to be so slow. A lot of people like to build their defensive based nukers, especially in the slowest speed possible. I'm talking 120, 130. I needed him to take turns. I don't want him to just stay there, stand there and die. I'll make that happen. There are some champions who can take all the hits and nothing will happen to them. Case in point, this my champion, what's her name, who is normally being protected, Gala, who is normally being protected by a Necrit, right? In this case, Foley is not protected by, Soulless is not being protected by anybody, so I don't need him taking so many hits. I'll bring in some defensive in front of him and some HP, shielding, anything to keep him alive long enough to take his turn. But that's what I was checking out right here. I did steal gear from him. See defense right here and accuracy. This is a perfect one, not a slow one. Also, it doesn't have crit, but I'll take the speed. Crit damage and defense right here as an artifact that has been ascended. So if I put more ascensions into this, for ascensions, I do have a mission right now. They said ascend. Well, should I ascend the boots or should I ascend? Let me ascend the boots. Yes, I'm rocking defensive boots. I don't want to be too fast. I don't want to go 190, 200 speed on this champion. Let me see if I can get defense. This is the champion you don't need attack on. Defense. I got flat defense. Still useful, but flat defense not so useful. I will spend more ascensions on this other glove right there to get it to maximum defense right here to boost his defense. Another set that I'll highly recommend you put on these champions besides Savage, yes, there are only 2 sets for this champion, unfortunately, Savage and Lethal. So I did take a look at my artifacts, and unfortunately I've not been farming Lethal enough to get me the crit damage requirement I need. I was looking for 250 crit damage. That's all I was looking for, and 6k defense. 6k defense, 250 crit damage. Those are the 2 stats. Of course, crit rate is always 100%. Now, I wasn't looking for 300 accuracy. I wasn't looking for 400 accuracy. I was like, accuracy is whatever. I'm not trying to provoke a high resist Abita or a high resist, what do you call it now, Madame Series, all those champions. I'm not even trying to provoke all those champions with high resist in the arena. I'm trying to provoke those nukers in the enemy team that does not have resistance. So with 200, a little bit 200 accuracy, with just an accuracy banner can make that happen. Now if you do not care about accuracy at all, you don't care about the cleansing of the boss from the enemies, you don't care about him placing provoke, then go crazy and just put even more defense right here on your banner. So I went with accuracy right here on my banner because he does have 2 rows of defense right there, a little bit of speed, crit damage as always because he does have 100% crit rate on my team, so crit damage always on the amulet, and defense right here. Now I wish I could get some, what do you call these things now, is it reaction amulets? Yes, I wish I could get some reaction ring, reaction stuff, so that can even help him stay alive longer. So he can take a hit. A defensive based champion, a defensive based nukers can take the first hit from those debuffers and the enemies damage dealers, and then get his turn. Reaction will even make that more possible. So I wish I could get reaction, or even if I don't have good reaction, I could just get one of these revenge banners. But I do not have any substat I needed for that. Not even no crit damage reaction. See, I have just HP. So is this at defense? No defense reaction either, so which is bad for me. But one day I'll get some reaction over here, which is the best one you want for him. So defense right here. Why do I have attack on this? That 20% attack is wasted, but soon I'll get something better in defensive substats for a defense ring and replace that. This is not the best ring for him right now. All right, like I said, I've made my artifact recommendation: lethal or savage. Those are the 2 sets you're getting on this champion. I'm new to raid. I've been playing it for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. I don't yet have savage set. I don't yet have lethal set. I hear you. So let's do some recommendations for you guys that are just coming into the raid. Of course, perception. Why this champion will benefit a lot from perception in the early game. If you can get perception, is easier to obtain in the early game, right? So if you can get some crit damage glove, or even crit rate glove and crit damage amulet or perception, and just get him that enough accuracy to be doing that provoke for you in content, you'll be worth building in that early game. Of course, it will be hard to get the books required to make him viable for anywhere you're using him, but maybe for early game Hydra, it might be helping you right there, or even go crazy in early game PvP, which is not that challenging. So that's any set that will make him just become tanky, high defense, even crit damage set is hard to get in the early game, right? So if you can go all triple and 3 sets of crit damage sets. And of course, I recommend accuracy in the early game. If end game players that do not need accuracy, this is not a champion you want to build in crew set, since it doesn't need attack, and not even immortal because it doesn't need that high amount of HP that you're putting on him. He needs defense. So maybe a good beginner set is this defense set, maybe. But a lot of people who have been playing raid for that early 1 month, 2 months, 6 months will not get a Soulless. If you're getting a Soulless, you've probably been playing for a year, or you're a spender, right? Because he's not an easy champion to obtain, being void, affinity, and all that. So if you got him early game, congratulations to you. All right, now that I've made my gear recommendations, lethal and savage, that's the sets that I would recommend. If you guys have any other ideas for gear sets, especially the newest ones that just came out to the game, I'm still going with the old sets that I think are best. In this, is it Boaster, Defiant, Impulse, Righteous, Stone Skin? That's also always a viable set for even any damage dealer that needs attack, HP, whatever. You see them in Stone Skin, as long as you want them to survive long enough to get a turn. I've even seen some people building rotos in Stone Skin. There is nothing we are not going to see in Stone Skin these days in raid. So if that's your plan to make him actually not go down, I have champions to make him alive, to still keep him alive. If you don't have others protecting him in front and protecting him behind, go for Stone Skin if you have the good defense and all that to make it happen. I'm not going to waste my Stone Skin on a Soulless, but I'm willing to learn from you guys' builds though in the comments. All right, for his masteries, I went with the normal damage dealer masteries. Since it's going to be used for PvP for my account, I went with the good old Hem Smasher, because that's always recommended to ignore a little bit more defense when you're hitting your enemies. That's the way to go. Now if you want to go towards this one that requires you to have somebody placing sleep on them before you go in for your big hit, or you go with this one that even increases duration of resetting your skill. I'm not trying to make the run go longer than my first hit. That's why I didn't go with this Circle of Violence, but it's awesome if you want against content that is going to go for a long time, especially against the Hydra. It doesn't do up to 30% of the damage. or PvP against tanky teams, just go for this. Now if you don't have enough accuracy, or you really want that provoke so bad, you might want to go towards the support 3 right here to get this accuracy requirements. That's the way to go. Down here it doesn't really benefit from much, except you want to hit the enemies and decrease their turn meter. If they want, there are some surviving. Probably not enough accuracy to make it happen, but if you went towards the support 3, you might have enough accuracy to actually decrease their turn meter. But I went towards this route because I want even more defense. Defense is important for my damage. 75 is important for the type of build I was going for. I don't even care about this A1 counter attacking or whatever, but it will help sometimes. If somebody hits him or decreases his HP to a particular amount, he will go in for that counter attack and stuff. All right, that's my masteries. There are Soulless I've seen going towards defense and support 3. I think that's also on Elhate's website. If you check it out, there's a Soulless mastery where you can see going only defense and support 3. That Soulless is not trying to come in here and do a big amount of damage. That's a high resist Soulless who is just there to be shielding and provoking. High resist, high accuracy, not there for damage at all. So with that type of Soulless, with that big shields he puts on himself, he's a difficult one to kill. Now his shields are not being protected, so Soulless shield can easily be stripped if he's not built in high resistance. That's why most people go towards that defense 3 and support 3. I've seen that viable, but I'm trying to test him out in arena first. When I no longer need him in the arena, I will most likely test any other builds, especially for the Hydra. Now my clan doesn't beat Hydra after Brutal Nightmare yet. I'm trying to keep him for that content. Once I'm ready to build a Hydra Nightmare team, Soulless will be built for that content and getting ready for that content. For now, I'm not even going to be using him in Hydra Brutal, but I'll do a test run in this battle to get to show you how it works in that content. Now let's do a damage test first of all. Sorry the intro took so long. I'm very excited about this champion and finally getting him built and in my account, because we do have enough attack based champions in raid, HP based champions, but something I have not yet built on my account is this type of defensive based nuker. So that's why I'm quite excited. So I also don't have the facility to make them work. What does a defensive based nuker need? Somebody in the leader slot to increase the defense 30% right here. So UDK serves that purpose for me right here. It will also help him keep my team alive. Another champion you might need is somebody to place increased defense. Now a budget version that I'm using right here to place increased defense is this champion that places increased crit rate and increased defense and for on the allies for 2 turns. The best one that I've seen people being used right here is Sifi. I don't have a Sifi, so any other champion you know can bring increased defense to your team right here. That's also not Yumeko, what's her name? She does look like Yumeko right there. So this is another champion that brings increased defense to your team right here. You want to start the battle with this skill, especially if she's faster than your Soulless. So right here, removes all the debuffs, whatever, and places strengthen. Where's no increased defense? Oh, is this skill? It's the A2. So you want to start with the battle with this one. Go in with the A2 and place increased defense right here and increase attack, which he doesn't need. So this might be useful, more useful. Mitrala might be more useful for him in PvP content than Muslim Mage. So for the purpose of the battle, let me use Mitrala and see how much damage we can do to the team. All right, I'm bringing Lydia right here to place 2 debuffs for us, because we need debuffs, right? And hopefully Mitrala will make 1 more debuff, which is 3 debuffs. So when the enemies do have 3 debuffs on them, and maybe we'll have Lady Kimi also adding 1 more debuff. That's also if you don't have enough accuracy. I realize I didn't show you his total stats. Did I have total stats on him? Do I have enough accuracy on him? 169 speed, 100% crit rate, 263 crit damage total, 281. That's high accuracy for this type of build. That's why I say I stole gear from people. Almost at that 6k defense that I was looking for. This is an awesome build, although he will still die. There are champions who will hit him hard and he goes down. Hopefully he has this entire team protecting him so he can go in for the nuke. All right, it's time for us to test it out and put it in. See how much damage. Am I going against the biggest stage? I hope not. All right, I want to start the battle with a little bit of slow speed and decrease accuracy. That's 2 debuffs, right? That's 2 count. I'm going again with them. That's 4 debuffs, right? All right, and going in with this one, And that's 5 debuffs, right? You see what I'm getting? You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to do one of those hits maximum damage. All right, let's see how much he can actually hit. Slow speed. I'm guessing 200k. Champions are built with not that high. 159. Not so much. Not so much. I'm not impressed. I thought I would see like 200. Come on. I was expecting like 200. Let's see it again. If I missed out on anything. Decrease defense and weaken. One more debuff. And increase defense for him. And now let's see it again. Or do I test the A1? Let me test the A1. 66. My candle front hits 30, 30. So basically, I have another champion who can do one single hit. Although my, what's her name? Gala Longbraid hits much harder on an A1 though. This is the power of ignore defense. It will also depending on whether his hex, his what do you call that skill? Is proccing or not. I'm waiting for the A3, the A2 this time around. I want to see what the A2 will do for me in battle. We've tested the A3, we've tested the A1. It's time for us to see what the A3 will do. The A2 will do. I still have my increased defense buff on me, right? Alright, let's go for the A2. And 3 targets will be hit by this. And that's 57, 54 hits. So almost like the A1, but it hits 3 enemies. So that's good, I guess. I want to see that A3 one more time, but this time we're going over to the arena and see it in battle. Now in the arena, of course, you will not have the luxury of placing 5 debuffs on the enemies. That's why you see me going towards this route. And another reason why I build this champion this way is because of this live arena. So we'll do one live arena battle in this test to see now that it's actually on. Let me hit refresh. So this some person is using his Soulless right here. You see, that's a team comp right here. Increased defense and a bunch of tanky champions to keep him alive. He's the only source of damage in this team, and if he gets a turn, it's probably over. So I'm coming. Do we do Soulless by Soulless? Do we do this? It's gonna be a long fight. Yes, Soulless battles are long. So if you can come in here with a team that can debuff him and all that and get his support down. I don't know if I want to fight Soulless versus Soulless. That's a 369k. We're almost at the same team power because of all these high resistance champions we brought in right here. So let me test it against. I want to test it against actual speed teams that will probably go first, right? They'll put my skill on cooldown. All right. We do have a cleanser, right? Even if we get locked out, even if we get some bombs on us, we do have a cleanser. So I'm hoping we can cleanse with our Mitrala, who is also here for increased defense. I also have this champion right here helping me loot shield, bolster set, Vogot to keep me alive. I could also bring in what's his name, Netril right here, but Netril will probably protect Mitrala. He might not protect Soulless. So let me keep Netril aside for now. Or I bring in Duchess. Let me do slow speed. They will go first, of course. They will do all their stuff. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. Do stuff. Do. It's when it's my turn. That's when we know. So most likely a go second team, basically. All right. Now it's time for us to cleanse all the stuff they've done to us. But we don't have increased defense. See, that's the bad part about it now. I don't have increased defense. So I'm not going to hit as hard as I was supposed to. I don't have increased defense. And I don't have the luxury of waiting one more turn for increased defense for me to get that done. Soulless is not taking any damage because of UDK. All their single target hits, Soulless is not being touched. Do I go one more? Let me just use this A1. Just this A1, right? Let me take down this champion. Will be a menace. 42k without increased defense. I'll take it. I did put Blessing of Soul Rip on him. I didn't show it, but yeah, I put Soul Rip Blessing on him. So that's also useful. All right, this is time for us to see the damage with increased defense finally on our Soulless. Hopefully we can get around to our turn before Arbiter revives that champion. All right, I think it's time finally. The stage is set for my Soulless to finally get his turn after waiting a long while. I'm still missing out on decreased defense and weaken, but the good part about this is that this is one of these champions that can still nuke enemies like this without decreased defense and weaken. I hope, just like my Candy can do. That's 140k damage, 100k. So there is no enemy in Raid Shadow Legend that is surviving that type of hit. I don't care the shield, the Brogni shield you have on them, or the booster set. That's twice their HP or even 3 times their HP that they have on them. So you're gonna melt through their shield and melt through their HP. Hopefully they don't have some kind of ally protection or something going on helping them down. So I will most likely use this Soulless team against teams that I know will nuke me right here. So that's what I'm hoping that I can use this skill for. So that's my Soulless build, built exactly for the arena, and it's working perfectly for me. And I just built him today, so I do have some time of testing him out and using him in some content. And finally, I'll have a groove or a feeling or a team that he can work best against. You guys let me know some team recommendations I can run with a Soulless. He's not the only increased defense champion or defensive based champion I obtained recently. I also have this Samson the Masher waiting to be built. He's not defense based, though. He's HP based. I also have, who else? One more champion that I want recently built for defense. That's it. Ragash. Is it defense? Yes. So I'm moving away from attack based nukers these days now to defense based. Well, not moving away because they're not using the same gear. Attack based champions are built now. We're moving towards defense based nukers. They are useful because they don't just fall over in the first hit. You can use them in a go second team, especially like this. Let me see, will I get nuked in this one? Thunder, because these are fast teams. Now if I wanted to build a fast team like that, I'll lose out on the increased defense buff. I'll lose out on the defense buff, but I'll still go with my arbiter. So let's say I want to build a fast team. Soulless is the damage dealer. I'm still going to have my increased defense right here. But I do have a contingency plan of taking their damage out. So this might be a fast Soulless team. But he is so slow. 160, 170 speed. He might be so slow. Let's see if I can go faster than them and neutralize their damage before I can go in there and do the big hits. Yes, I'm faster than them. Increased attack that I don't need. Their damage has been neutralized. Now I'm starting the battle with my increased defense. Yes, increased defense right here on my Soulless. So he's waiting right now to do the big nukes that he's well known for. Please don't, please. He got, I thought he was gonna be feared. Child, what's her name? If it was feared, it would be such a sad one. Let me still boost on to make sure this Thunder doesn't hit me with the A1. I don't have a UDK here right here to protect me. And that's 120 and so on. Why did she survive? Did I get a weak hit right there? How can she survive that 100k hit? That's strange. But anyways, let's let our Soulless end this one. Nah, he's not gonna turn. He's not gonna get a turn right now. He's too slow to get a turn. People are lapping him in my team. But it's fine. One day we'll have enough gear to make him fast enough to be one-on-one for the enemies. I did promise to do a 1 live arena test. I'm currently in silver 1. I think I was on silver 2. I fell off. Just 1 live arena battle with a Soulless. Now I'll show you another reason why I got him. I usually come in the live arena with 2 damage dealers, right? Most people do. If you want only 1 damage dealer into live arena, people will bundle that damage dealer and you'll be stuck with an endless loop of, you know, the enemies just taking down your tanky teams. So right off the bat, I'm showing to the enemy that this is not going to be a small battle for you. So let me just put my ranking. Yes, so that's him. But I'll not show Soulless right now. Or do I just go with... Let me use the same thing that I used for Prince Kaima. Where is it? Kaima. Just to throw them off a little bit. I want to go with the tanky team. But just to throw them off, Kaima Arbiter. They'll think I'm coming with an attack champion, right? And then I hit them with the Soulless, UDK, and 1 damage dealer. Now I'm coming in with this. I'll bring in a... What's his name now? Candy. So it won't just be all defense-based nukers. They are coming in with another tanky team. Alright, so I'm not showing the Soulless yet. I'm gonna protect my candy. Boom. So now they think it's over. So with a candy protected and a Soulless, you're like, who are you gonna kill first? Of course, I didn't bring increased defense in here for Soulless. You don't always have that luxury, I tell you. You don't always have that luxury, but I'm going with there finally Soulless to show off, like I said. So who are they gonna ban? It's either you ban the Soulless or you ban the candy or you ban one of my speed boosters or even my let me first of all ban who is the most threat right here. I don't like this dude one day. I don't like him. He's gonna pick me off. I can deal with everybody on the team one by one, but him is just gonna go crazy. He banned Kaima. So that means I get to go first. And fast. And nuke him once and nuke him again. Hopefully. Let's see. Yes, I get to go first. Why is Soulless protected? So my Soulless has... Who does Necrit protect? I am not gonna do anything till this stone skin falls off. I'm not gonna waste my skills. I wanna kill this reviver first. Who does Necrit protect? I forget what determines who he protects. I'm gonna buff myself. I'm getting ready to nuke you to hell. Let's see if we can take away some of this 1 ton. Yes, we took down 1 ton on some of the stone skin. He knows it's over. Even your opponent knows it's over for him. Stun sets. Stun set, or that champion just has stun on himself by himself. Alright, let's go. Let's see. Should I go with the A1s? I think so. No. UDK is just gonna block it. So AoE hits. Increase defense right here. So let's AoE. Not. He got resisted on one of them. So I'm trying to target the reviver first, or the healer. Come on. UDK is now free to kill. Because he's going to be the issue right here in this team. And it's time. Who do we target? And it's going to be this champion. Everybody, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. A passive kept her alive. Block damage passive kept her alive. Damn. Is this champion based on attack? UDK, it's time for you to go. Almost. Get some HP on us. Get some boosting on us. Come on, leave my Arbiter alone. Whether I kill Arbiter or not, you're gonna die. Can we provoke some people? Not enough accuracy. Boost on meter. Protect Arbiter. Touch her and give her a big shield, please. Yes. Thank you for the Arbiter shield. And now it's time for us to kill UDK. Before he gets revived, take away some of this allied protection, please. Yes. I tell you, live arena can be fun when you're winning, but when you're losing, you're like, God damn. Take away this reviver. 19k. So rip. And now let's he's done. He's done. He knows it's over. He had some hopes of coming back with a revive, but I made sure that his hopes were diminished. All right, guys, that's my Soulless guide. I know you can't always have decreased defense and weaken and increased defense in PvP content, but if you can make it happen, especially somebody like a Madam Ceres going in there to strip the enemies and placing decreased defense on them and weaken, on decreased attack, which is 2 debuffs on the enemies. If you can make that happen, Soulless I think will hit even harder. I don't think in live arena, I will have that luxury of coming in there with a debuffers that will be able to debuff the enemies before Soulless takes a turn. I think most times he will just go in naked and raw and try to hit without increase defense or decrease defense on the enemies. I think that's how it works. But you guys suggest me in the comments below a team that will work perfectly with the Soulless, with a good decrease defense out there in the enemies, or 2 debuffs. It doesn't have to be decrease defense, just 2 debuffs out there in the enemy wave before my Soulless can go in there for the nukes. Like I said, I can run him in a fast team like you see me putting him in a habitat team, or with a slow team with a bunch of champions keeping him alive right here. And I'm surprised Necrit actually protected him because of this passive, right? Who does it protect? 3 tons ally protection on the with the lowest max HP. So my Soulless has less HP than my Candlephone. How? 45k and Soulless is about 30k. That's a strange one. So that's what I can bring both of them to the same team, and now I know my Soulless will be protected and my Candlephone will not be protected. We don't want that to happen. All right guys, help me hit like in this video. This is a detailed Soulless guide. I wanted to make this one a little bit longer because this is a champion I'm building for the first time. This is my first draft build that I hope to improve in a later time. And of course, if you're new to Raid, you don't have to match these stats that I reached. This is an end game account that I've been playing for 3 years and farming the finance for that long, and got all the lethal set and savage set to get me to this high amount of defense and crit damage, so which is the 2 stars that I was looking for. Let me know your comments below what you think about this one. Hopefully you guys help me like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Later guys.